Hello and welcome to iTuber. Today we have carVertical as our guest. It is probably one of the most hyped ICOs in the space right now. And today our guest is the co-founder of the project, Audrius. Hello.
Hi, what's up?
Thank you so much for finding time to talk to us. I know the connection is a bit bad from my side because I was doing some traveling and I don't have good stable internet, so I'm sorry for that. But let's start and see how it goes. So start from the first question. Just tell us about the project briefly, please.
Okay, so we are carVertical and we are building a decentralized registry for vehicles. Essentially, it hasn't happened before yet. There isn't such thing as a registry for vehicles because vehicle is a moving object. Registers work only for stable objects like houses and such. So we are changing that.
Mm-hmm. Whose idea was this? And tell us about the team and yourself.
Okay, so we came up with the idea with the Rokas at start, and then we start pitching it to our friends who are sort of battle-proof IT professionals, and they all dig it, and we start all working on it quite fast. We have a really strong team. We have a really cool the IT guys who work in the industry at least 10 years. We have really strong management and business developers and marketing team who are from all around the place, and as well as that, we have people who worked with other ICOs, which raised like millions in minutes. We have a very strong advisor board, as well as we have a massive ambassador list as well.
Mm-hmm. So the team and you yourself, you are from Lithuania, but the company is registered in Estonia. Can you tell us why?
It's just easier like this. Estonia has sort of this internet-based citizenship, so it's much easier to manage all the business and all the stuff if you have Estonian company. Just because you don't need to go anywhere physically, just everything is online. So just sort of because of that.
Okay, so the more of a practical reasons. Then tell us about the problem you are solving. What exactly is going on in the car market and in the registry market?
Well, in essence, we are significantly reducing the fraud in the used car market. The fraud is massive. The numbers are big, and we want to change that. Like every single one in our team, well, not every single one, but most of the guys in the team have quite bad experiences with buying used cars or owning used cars, or like some guy like Robertus who got almost killed a few times because of that. It's insane. It's a large problem, so we want to solve that.
Mm-hmm. So how exactly are you going to access the car history data? Because it's not publicly available everywhere, is it?
Yeah, that's the money shot. That's the problem. That's the issue. Especially it's an issue in Europe or other fragmented markets. Such as Asia. Like in America, it's easy. If there are laws in America which tells the manufacturers to actually provide the data, so it's much easier to do that in the US. In Europe, it's insanely hard to do that. And what we do is we are working with EU itself, because EU is European Union wants to actually reduce the fraud because they know that it's big and they want to help for the consumer. And essentially, what we're doing is we are connecting to all the registries in Europe and integrating with them. As well as that, we're integrating with insurance providers, with insurance providers, also like insurance claim providers. We're working with some manufacturers as well already. And another thing, what we do is essentially work strong with the upcoming European Union GDPR. What we do is when you claim a vehicle in our registry, all the data it belongs to you, so you are in the full control of the data. As well as that, you get incentivized to provide us more data. You get tokens for that. If you actually give us access and you give us permission to go to some places and to get vehicle data on your behalf. So that kind of works like really well. And so these are probably some cases. We also do a lot of scraping, web searching, and that sort of stuff. But just a standard like untrusted information. Essentially, the model is that we get a lot of data, and then we incentivize users to get us more trusted data, and then we double cross-check everything with machine learning and stuff. And this is the way we actually create sort of like those clear, transparent, and trusted record.
Okay, so as a car owner, I have an incentive to collect my data and give it to you or make it available publicly. But what is the incentive of insurance companies, as you said, or some registries, law enforcement agencies to share the data with you?
Sharing data works in like a kind of both ways. So some sources we actually buy, like for actual fiat currency, and some sources we get if we share our data with them. So we kind of cross-sharing the data. And the insurance providers have the same problem. They have it, and they had it for a long time. Like because we talked to the two major insurance providers now, and they have the same problem. They are actually looking for the solution to connect the data together. So they are very much incentivized. Like every kilometer, every tampered kilometer on odometer is a pure money for them. Like it's like straight away. It's like they're losing money on every fraudulent kilometer driven.
Okay.
So everybody's
then another question. Again, me as a car owner, how do you check whether I'm providing the correct information?
Well, the idea is that we don't actually get data from you. We get from you. We get only like access to get the data from trusted sources. So you don't write your own odometer records. No. Like that would not be really cool. That would need trusted sources. But what we do is like you get us your access to the registry, and we get anonymized data from the registry just about the car, and we require the blockchain.
And where is the data the collected data will be stored?
Yes.
Will you have the access to the data?
Some of it, like essentially, like it depends on the user itself, really. Like by default, user can we will essentially we're creating this wallet app, which will essentially allow user to control how much data is publicly available, how much data is locked, what data is locked, and like he can user can unlock the data for a specific amount of time, or allow access short time access for some specific provider. Essentially, like the user is in control of the data. Like we are not. Like, we will have access to the data if user will allow us to get access to the data.
You mentioned the wallet. Is it the one on a website which is available in alpha version, the interface for the people to see?
That one is more like a VIN checker tool. It's a sort of alpha version of our like very early pre-alpha version of the VIN checker tool. Essentially, is that user can check the car history on it. Wallet will be a little bit different one. Like if you drive a car, usually have a stack, like a large stack of documents in your car to do with insurance, tech support, all that sort of stuff. So we want to kind of put it all to the digital format and then make it like in the car. Also, like to make it like a smart like documents. So essentially, like if there's something wrong with your car, you will actually get notified about it. Or like if your insurance is running out, you will actually get a notification from insurance that your insurance is running out, as well as that would you like to have a best offer from like 5 insurance providers straight away, like out of your car without needing to do anything about it, like because there's actually quite a little problem that people are forgetting to get their periodic technical support done. Like they get actually fined quite a lot of money because they just forgot it, or like they forgot to buy their insurance just because just it's car. It's like you usually forget things about it. It's just a tool. So we want to fix that.
Okay, so I will advise our audience to check out the website and see the early alpha version, which looks very neat, actually. So continuing our previous question. So different registries, law enforcement agencies, I assume that in different countries, all of them will be different and all of them will speak sort of a different language. Not like literally, but I mean, the way to approach them, they have different way of storing the data, probably sorting the data. How exactly are you going to onboard this registries from different countries?
Yes, essentially, we found a way. We've been working on this for like 6 months now. So we did find a data architecture which actually works. And with this data architecture, we can we take any data and we convert it into our format, which is kind of will be a lot of normalized format for the vehicle data. The way we do it essentially is like we create a small records for every kind of a type of event, in the car. Like we look at the car as a like a cycle from cradle to the grave, as they say. And like every event is like everything that's happened in the car history is an event, and we make them like a very small event. So and we record them essentially. Like we have a format and architecture for the data to be normalized.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about the ICO. How much were you aiming to raise, and how is the ICO going on right now?
Okay, so ICO is doing really well. We did primary calculations when the Ether was at about 300 euros, but like we had to raise about $10 million. That was the target. So we had to reduce the amount of Ether we're raising like twice now because the Ether just keeps mooning. And so but after the ICO launched, we can't really change the numbers anymore. So and our ICO is locked on a way raised, so on the Ether. So we just going with it. So we already raised 10 millions, but we're going for the hard cap rather soon.
Mm-hmm. And the ICO was done in an interesting way. It was divided into 6 waves. You would probably explain us more.
Yes, essentially, we didn't want to have a few smart contracts or few ICOs like others do. So we chose a bit different format. We had a single ICO with the waves, and the first wave is almost like a pre-ICO wave, which is like a non-refundable and it has the largest largest discount. And the second wave is a refundable sort of soft cap wave. And then all the rest of the stages are just sort of next wave, which are with a decreasing discount. Yes, we are at the stage 5 now out of 6.
5. Yes, 5. So when I was preparing for this interview, I watched lots of interviews. You did very good job doing interviews and making people do some reviews probably. And in one of the interviews, you and your colleague, I think you were in a car, and your colleague says, I'm quoting him, "It's not just an ICO product. We'll keep building the solution and our products, even if our ICO fails." Your ICO didn't fail, which is a good thing, and I congratulate you on that. But how exactly were you planning to keep going, even if you didn't raise the money you were planning to?
Well, essentially, self-fund. Most of us had jobs now, kind of dropped our jobs and just work on ICO now and on the carVertical. But essentially, when we started this, we wanted to build a blockchain registry, and we didn't really plan to do ICO. We kind of looked at them, and it was also kind of looked like a kind of fraudulent and sort of a lot of crap was happening there. So we kind of looked like we wanted to stay away from it. So we were essentially, when we started, we were building just a proper blockchain registry. We are like very hyped on it. Like everybody wanted to build it, everyone wanted to work with it. And then we went to the venture capitalists, and we had offers from them. Then we went to the angel investors, we got offers from them as well. And then kind of looked at it and like maybe still we can do the ICO. Like maybe that's an option. We kind of decided looking at the ICO option, like maybe let's see how it goes. So we did start an ICO just because like we saw that the money raised. If we raise more money, we can progress faster. That's the idea. And so, like, and the amount of money we can raise from the venture capitalists or from angel investors doesn't really compare to the amount that we can raise from the ICO. So we just said, okay, let's boost this. Let's boost this. So we just sort of wanted to do the ICO so we can bootstrap it faster and spread to more countries and include more data sources and to get more data and to get a better development team and sort of to get more expertise, sort of to make it better. And our idea that we wanted to, if the ICO would have failed, we would still have sort of we were planning to self-fund it for at least a year, because the way, like, we look at the market and there's actually still a great potential for such products. There are a couple more products like this which are not blockchain based, but they're like badly developed, and sort of old school. Like somebody made them like 15 years ago, and like they're very happy and forgot to improve everything. So we would have been working on it anyway, because like everybody loves the idea and like everybody's happy to work with it.
Okay. Another quote from another interview then. So your colleague again says, we are doing this new concept of running an ICO. We are used to ICOs that run very short time with high marketing. It's like now or never opportunities. We are not like that. We are providing bonuses. We are developing a product and running an ICO on a side. So I see two flaws in this remark. First, regarding the high marketing, you are doing the high marketing. If you type carVertical ICO on YouTube, at least first 10 hits are only the interviews. Second, the bonuses. Each ICO, almost every ICO has bonus system. And you're saying that we are developing a product and running an ICO on a side. But a lot of good ICOs are actually developing their product and running their ICO on a side. Can you please explain what does that mean?
Okay, so essentially, we are like very concentrated on that, and the way we look at the ICOs, because, well, especially in our industry, like in the car industry, like others, like we found like 2 fraudulent ICOs in the first month or so. Like it looked like that people are doing ICOs for the sake of ICOs, and at that moment it looked like they are really just doing the ICO, and we looked at it and as said that like we are doing different. We're actually doing the product and the ICO. But yes, yes, you are correct. Like at least probably even 2 or 3% of the ICOs are actually doing the proper product. A lot of stuff is still fraudulent. So it's probably from that perspective. And on the marketing side, we have done some of it, mainly because like we have team for it, and they just wanted to join us and they like the products and their expertise in marketing. So they were doing the job, but we didn't really do a lot, and we didn't really invest a lot in marketing. We didn't really put any money into it anyway.
Okay, so I'm done with my main questions. Then let's talk about the tokens and monetization part of the project.
Sure.
Can you please explain us the role of the tokens and maybe what will the token holders get?
Okay. The tokens is a primary exchange unit, primary value unit in our products. So essentially, you will be able to buy all the products or pay for all our services via token only. That's kind of the idea. Right? Inside the system, everything is only tokens, and we are building the system where you can buy services with fiat. But essentially, what happens behind it is that fiat is converted into tokens, and then you actually still are buying with tokens. But if you would buy something with tokens, you wouldn't pay the exchange fee between fiat and tokens. And the tokens we also use it as an incentive mechanism for the users to collect to help us to collect the data and to join our cause. And as well as that, in our marketplace. We are doing this marketplace where insurance providers, service providers, anything to do with cars really, will be able to directly send you an offer for something that you actually need. Like we are doing it kind of non-spammy way, with a good way, like a proper useful way. to like that the service providers will be able to target you for some specific services when you need them, if you actually need them. And the user will be able to actually to cover partially or maybe even fully the cost of the service with the tokens as well. So it's kind of an exchange value for that as well.
Okay. So the token holders, what are they getting? Are they?
Yes, the token. If you hold the token, you get. Sorry, I missed out for that. The token holders, if you have holding tokens will allow you to get discounts like all across the board. If you hold more tokens, you get more discounts on API services, or like other services as well.
So I'll go back to quotations then again. So in another interview, your colleague says the reason you are doing an ICO and not being just for venture capitalists is that we would like to be people's company, and that people will help us to decentralize this, and that people will probably participate, isn't it? So I thought if they have the tokens, they have some right to vote how the community, how the system will develop, or maybe something else. But it seems like what they get is just the bonuses and the discounts.
Well, yes, like everything is still in a lot in sort of a progress mode, so we're probably gonna like everything is changing really. Like we had this one idea when we started, then the idea changed like 3 or 4 times. Currently, we think that the holding tokens would give a discount. We have no idea what will happen next. Like seriously, like in a month or so, like in February, we're going to work in Riga with Blockvis and do it like fully concentrate on the registry, and we're gonna do the work this workshop for like a few days. We're gonna sit there and work with them like specifically on the blockchain technology behind it. And I'm sure that something's gonna change again. Like we're gonna decide that everything like still there's something missing, that we need to change something again. And we'll see how it happens. It's still evolving, so sort of nothing is really stable yet.
But doesn't it feel like betraying the people who invested into the project, who bought the tokens? Because you say one thing in the beginning, but then it changes afterwards.
Well, it's not going to be a dramatic change, it's still going to bring value. It's still going to serve the purpose. We might turn it just a little bit to the side, to actually to make it better at some point, or to make more sense of it. That's like discounts are going to stay. Probably it's going to. We're going to be adding more features, not removing them. So it's still better.
Okay, so I have 2 more questions. First one, tell us about the competitors. I know there are some very good competitors from the traditional world, and I'm not sure about the crypto space right now. I assume you are the first and you want the best one for now. But what about the traditional world companies that are trying to do what you are trying to do here?
Okay, well, there aren't many. There's one primary, carVertical. It's American company which worked primarily in America. They're still primarily in America, and they are essentially car history checker. They worked from the 1984, 1986. They're like really old company. They haven't really done much more than that. They've been working there, and they're having a lot of problems with spreading to Europe. Like in past 30, 40 years, they have hardly they have in Europe like maybe 1 country or 2 countries. They're spreading like really slow in Europe. It's a difficult region for everybody, and that's probably and they're literally just the history checker. They don't really do the registry itself. Like that's not their idea. Their idea is to make extensive vehicle checks. That's pretty much it. And that's a real life traditional competitors. From the blockchain side, there are a couple. There is a VLB. Those guys are building blockchain. I can't say they are competitors. They're more like the guys who are in the same industry. Like VLB is doing VLB, essentially doing like a life cycle blockchain of the car. So they're doing a lot of more with like a service and such, like a maintenance.
Yes.
We are also looked at the we are also, but like we didn't think about it at first. We didn't really look at ourselves as a supply chain for a vehicle, but we're kind of slowly becoming one. So people are starting to compare us to a VeChain as well. So we have that probably, and as well as that, I think there is another called VinChain. They are again an American company. They are based in America, and they're doing a blockchain-based VIN checker. That's about it.
And how are you different from them?
Well, we are registry. Now we are like a decentralized, tamper-proof vehicle registry. One like this does not exist, and people are not really doing that. They're concentrating on different parts. It's something VIN checks, something life cycles. Sort of, it's different. We are creating a sort of we are a data company. Others are doing a lot of other stuff, really, like a value transfer value between other cars and such. Like we have strictly data company, and we're building that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then my last question. So you mentioned that the tokens will appear on exchanges and will be tradable 16 weeks after the ICO ends officially. So do you have any agreements with exchanges yet?
Yes, we're coming. They are coming there, and we are preparing the announcement. It's probably announcement going to come next week about exchanges which we're working with, which are planning to be listed. Yes.
Listed, yes. Okay. Well, thank you, Audrius, for the interview. You now have about 45 seconds to address our audience.
Okay, cool. I don't really have much to say. Like join our Telegram, see us on Reddit. Just join our community. The community is growing large, and it's really strong. And if you believe in a transparent, tamper-proof vehicle history, yes, join carVertical.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Dear audience, thank you for watching. I'm very sorry for the poor quality of this video, but I think the content was very good. The project is very interesting. The idea is brilliant, and as Audrius said, there aren't any competitors in the space for now. The ICO was supposed to last for 100 days, but it's gonna probably finish earlier because it started on December 26th and it's already in wave 5, which means they're more than 90% done. So hurry up if you want to participate, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below this video and we'll come back to you with the answers. Thank you very much and see you next time.